Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio here on this Thursday, September 7th. Appreciate you being with us. Dustin Schutte sitting in and joined now by the great Mike DeCourcy from the Sporting News and Big Ten Network. How are you, sir?
I am well, Jim. How are you?
Great to have you along as always. We've been having fun already talking football, which I know is not necessarily always your favorite subject, but you're a big fan. And how could you not be a big fan of the Colorado TCU game, the Deion story, and where that might go? But we were having a big debate about Colorado and Nebraska coming up because I was just shocked that Colorado is only a 3-point favorite over Nebraska. And Dustin has the other side of that, probably the smarter side. I always take the emotional side. And then now we have the man of reason, Mike DeCourcy, right in the middle.
Well, I how can you not be a fan? Well, I'm not wild about him running off the vast majority of his roster last year.
I'm not. He prove himself right by winning.
Well, he won a game. I mean, guys win games,
and they were 1-11.
Coaches win no games.
But they were 1-11 last year with that roster.
All right. Maybe he goes 1-11 now. I've seen it happen. I'm not saying he achieved at a high level at Jackson State and he's off to a great start at Colorado, but I don't think that was what college athletics should be. And I don't think that I don't think that everything being about Deion is the best thing for Colorado either. I mean, it's always about Deion. Yeah, wherever he goes.
No doubt about that.
And he's not the only coach who does that, but I mean, he's the one that's in the spotlight right now. And I don't have to be a fan of that.
No. I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about Deion so much as just the Colorado thing. The fact that they were 1-11 last year, that the excitement he's brought over, they sell an additional 20,000 season tickets the minute he became coach. Colorado has had some success in the past, obviously, but it's been a while. Big lull, and now they're joining the Big 12 next year. A lot of excitement. The Pac-12 actually having a good year so far right now too, which is strangely ironic, as is the ACC. But it's just wild. Now this week, they're only a 3-point favorite against a team that is probably going to be decent, but starting off not good. And I'm really surprised to see them only a 3-point favorite at home.
Yeah, that's the surprising part, is that it's at home. But what it tells you is that Vegas is they do things based on the reality and not on the hype. That's really what it comes down to. Now, hype eventually might move it a little bit, but when they put up a line, they're looking to see what the smart money says. And obviously the smart money didn't start pouring in on Colorado simply because they had the great opener. So I think it's pretty obvious that they have some idea that it was a nice start, but that doesn't necessarily portend a spectacular season for the Buffaloes. I have not looked at their schedule to see how challenging it gets from here. I would be less surprised by the 3-point line if it were a home game for the Huskers, because that'd be a lot to go into 80,000 seat stadium in Lincoln and do what they just got done in a much less demanding environment. But playing at home, you would think that coming off that win, that there would be people betting big on Colorado, but it's not happening.
Well, I agree. To that point, the line did shift before the game started. It was Nebraska 9.5. So that line shifted by 12 points, basically, in a matter of about 12 to 24 hours.
9.5 Nebraska they put up? Wow.
Nebraska was before the final results from Saturday.
Gotcha.
Nebraska was the 9.5 point favorite. So that line did shift 12 points.
I wonder what it shifted since. What did it shift though since like the Sunday morning or whatever? That would be more because the line obviously was out too early.
I think it's
right.
I didn't know enough about either team.
I think it started as Colorado minus 1.5, and then jumped to the 3.5, where depending on where you go to is where it is right now, I think.
Yeah, so that's instructive that that not that much money has poured in on Colorado since the post game line came out. I'll be curious to see how it plays out, though. Certainly, and that's I think that's part of what college football has to get to, where it goes beyond the bettors and the people who care about those particular teams. College football's problem it has been that it's too isolated. And this is a problem for college basketball as well. It needs to be a broader audience based on a compelling story and championship pursuits. And what we've seen over the last decade or so of college football is that everybody starts out the year knowing, okay, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson, maybe. We don't have to pay attention to anybody else. And I think that has suppressed college football's audience generally. Not that it's not still getting great numbers, but I think it could do even better, or will do even better when the path to the college football playoff becomes more profound. Obviously, losing the Pac-12 makes it slightly less profound. They're probably going to take one of the automatic qualifier bids off the table down to 5. It would have been better if it were half and half. And why it's not is, the Pac-12's just horrendous mismanagement has definitely impacted the future of college football.